Hello and welcome to Boxing in Your Face. My name is Joe Cortez, international boxing referee from Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about referees' duties. I've been getting so many emails and questions I get from a lot of wannabe referees is, how do I get started? Well, again, I have my website, fairbutfirm.com, and you'll see some videos there. They're free videos of different seminars that I gave in the past in reference to how to become a referee. So if you want to make it easy for yourself, go to fairbutfirm.com and check out the website, go into the archive section, and you can see about 13, 14 different videos that I have in there about referees' duties. But what I'll talk to you about today is the jobs that most referees are most concerned about is ring mechanics, positioning, when do we stop a fight. And these are the main things that also is very important, not only for the referees, but for the fighters themselves, because fighters sometimes want to know who's the referee going to be in for their particular fight. And the fighters don't have a say in who's going to referee the fight, but their managers and trainers can surely sometimes protest in reference to a particular judge or referee that's going to be involved in the fight, and sometimes the commissioners will have to make a change. And to avoid those situations, the best thing to do is try to stay on top of your game. I know that as a referee, we're not going to be that popular with every fighter out there, with every manager out there. We all have problems sometimes with managers or fighters for whatever reason. And you know, I respect the judges who judge the fights, but they're in the same situation as we. That's why I tell them you have to try to raise the bar, do your job the best you could, so to avoid controversies, to avoid people saying, well, I don't want him as a judge, well, I don't want him as a referee. So for whatever reason, sometimes people complain about me breaking the clinches too much, too fast. I'm always in the picture. And I'm trying to stay away from the picture, but I have to do my job as a referee. And one of my main jobs is to have a clean fight and let the flow continue. But if you have a lot of clinching and they get inside and they're holding one hand and they're twisting the arm a little bit, you know, there's all kinds of tricks that a lot of fighters pull to try to get the edge on you. But as a referee, you should know your duties. You should see when the fighters are in clinches. Sometimes when you're going around the other side, they'll try to punch him on the hip, which is illegal, but if you're on the blind side, you're not gonna see it. And there's some famous fighters out there, as a well-educated fighters, educated in the sense that they know how to get away with some stuff, which is not really clean fighting. So you have to, you know, that's why I say do your homework before you referee a particular fight, watch videos of these fighters so that you can pick up on their habits and you warn them in the dressing room. And the dressing room is where you want to really take control. You want to give the fighters the instructions, and part of your instructions is that you're a no-nonsense referee. You're there to do your job, and if they cause some some kind of a foul, or they want to play some dirty tricks that you know that they're a habit of, sometimes they use their heads inside, sometimes they'll go low, especially when fighters are in trouble. Fighters may be in some kind of in trouble, they're getting hurt, and they know how to start going low. And they'll go low to try to get a break. And this is where you have to be on top of your game. Now you have to say to yourself, did he do this intentionally? Was he doing it because he was hurt and he's trying to get some time? Or was he looking for a way out? Sometimes fighters want to be disqualified for whatever reason. They don't want to be knocked out. They know what's coming next. So they'll start doing anything so they can say, well, I didn't lose a fight because I got stopped. I lost a fight on the disqualification and it wasn't my fault. You know, they'll look for anything. So if you stay on top of your game, you can tell the fighter, listen, if you start going foul, I'm going to start taking some points. Yeah, if I think it's accidental, I'll give you some warning. However, sometimes if I feel it's intentional, there are no warnings. It's automatic 2-point deduction for flagrant fouls. And flagrant fouls is something, it's a no-no in boxing. Minor fouls, you know, you may take 1 point, depending on the severity of the blow, if there was any damage done. But you start taking really good control when you start taking 2 points for an intentional foul. So I think it's very important that your referees do your homework, and this way you try to raise the bar. I'm never satisfied with my performance. I say I can always do better. And I think that's the attitude a lot of referees and judges should take around the world. Never be satisfied with yourself. Say, you know, whatever I did, I can do better, and try to raise the bar, because there's always room for improvement. And not only in boxing, guys, in life, we can always do better. You know, I'm never satisfied the way I do things, maybe around the house or at the job or whatever I do. I can always do better. Sometimes we slack off a little bit. You don't want to slack off in boxing, especially when you got two fighters' lives in your hands. And this is something that is most important, that you stay on top of this. We don't want fighters taking unnecessary punishment. One of the things I tell my referees that I teach is, if you feel a fighter's taking a little too much punishment, go into the corner in between rounds and go in there and explain to them, listen guys, you're taking a little too much. I'm here to protect you. If you didn't show me something next round, I may consider stopping this contest. So please start showing me something. I tell them that back in the dressing room. I tell these fighters, you guys are like my sons or girls. You know, I tell them, hey, you guys got to be on top of your game. If not, I don't want to see you get hurt. I want to see you come back another day. One of the other things that's important for referees to do is to keep yourself in good physical and mental condition. That is so important, because a lot of times if you got problems, personal problems, you can't be bringing that with you into the fight, because you're going to find yourself, you know, drifting off and not concentrating on the fighters. You know, and again, that's where fighters, managers, and the public start complaining about, well, certain referee is not focusing on his job, and he's not taking control of the fight. He's letting the fight get out of control, and that's where I said the referee has to be, you know, like I say, I'm fair but I'm firm. And if you take the attitude that you're going to do your job, but you got to be firm at the same time, you want to make sure that you're consistent all the way through with every fight that you do. Don't slack off because it's a 4-round fight and you're not on television. Just because you're doing a main event, a 10-round fight or a championship fight, you're going to act different? Hell no. Do your job, 4-rounders, championship fight, the same way. You know, these fighters are human like anybody else. And again, when there's two fighters in that ring, one thing that you don't want to do is slack off. You don't want to, you know, take away from the 4-round fighters. You got somebody's life in your hand. You got to make sure you do your job to the fullest. Guys, that will be it for today. Next week, I'll give you a little bit more on boxing, a little bit more about referees' duties, and most importantly, you know, stay sharp, stay in good shape, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care. God bless.